Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to bring you another beauty wish list or not. So we're going to talk about some new releases and things like that. But first I wanted to mention a couple things that I've gotten from previous beauty wish lists because I want to make sure and tell you about some of those things in case they don't end up in like any type of beauty blab or like specific review or something like that. So the first thing I'm actually wearing today, so it's kind of good to talk about it. It's this little mini Natasha Denona Blush and Glow. I love that she's coming out with minis. I hope that she does more of these types of things because this was only $19, which for her products is not bad. And yes, it is very tiny for sure, but I still think that there's a lot of product in here and I think this will be great for travel and it's beautiful. I am loving this. This is now the second time that I've worn this and I just got this like a few days ago, but it's just beautiful. I mean, this blush on its own, even without, sorry, it's very reflective, even without the highlighter, because the highlighter is a little more of like a natural highlighter. You can certainly build it up, but it's not meant to be like this bam in your face highlighter. But even this blush on its own is very glowy and it's so beautiful. I really have been loving this and I'm definitely gonna take this when I travel. This is great. And then the other thing, I purposely did not really like mess with my hair too much because I wanted to show you this product. So this is the Living Proof Instant Defrizzer. I actually talked about this in my most recent beauty wish list. And this is really cool because it's something that's supposed to help sort of tame some of the frizz, you know, smooth your hair out. And I definitely have issue with frizz, especially when my hair is curly like this. It gets frizzy very, very easily. So I wanted to give something like this a try, but I also like this because I do sometimes wear my hair straight and I can use something that, you know, would tame the frizz in those situations as well. And the nice thing about this is that it's dry. So it doesn't, you know, when I wear my hair curly, sometimes I'll sort of re-wet it to kind of tame some of that and sort of restyle it a little bit, like refresh the style. But something like this you can use and it's not going to wet your hair. So it'd be good for me when I'm wearing my hair curly, but also when I'm wearing it straight. So I really do enjoy that. I wanted to show you how this works now because I really do think that I notice a difference. It's not like a miracle worker, but I do think that it works really, really well. Somebody's up, I better hurry. So you can see, and it smells really, really nice. So I don't know if you can tell. My dog just like rushed over to smell this, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but I really do think that it makes a difference. You tell me. I'm not sure if you can really tell on camera, but I do think it makes a nice difference. Again, it's not like a miracle worker, but I think that it really helps tame some of that frizz. And it smells super nice, which is good too. I still need to give it, you know, more of a try. I haven't used it a ton yet, but so far I really think it's nice just to kind of freshen up your hair and tame some of the frizz. I mean, that's exactly what it says it would do. So I've been liking this so far. So let's talk about some new releases. I've got a bunch of them. So we're gonna try and go through them quickly because there are a lot. So I'm gonna kind of move over here just a little bit, pull them up on my computer here. Again, if you want to be involved in the releases that I do talk about, please follow me on Instagram and make sure and tag me, and then I will know that you want me to talk about it. So the first one is the Lunar Beauty release from Manny MUA. He is a big YouTuber if you don't know already, and he's coming out with his own brand. And so the first product that he's coming out with is an eyeshadow palette. It's called Life's a Drag, and it comes with an eyeshadow brush, which is really nice. It's a dual-ended brush. And this one is available already. The palette has a mirror in it. Not the best mirror that I've ever seen, but it has a mirror. And then of course it has the brush and it's $45, which I don't think is a bad price for all of this. I think that's very, very fair. I don't really plan on getting this for a couple reasons, but I appreciate this release. I think this is a very good release from him for his first palette. I think it's very smart. And it's well done, I think. I don't know about the quality because I don't own it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what people think about this. Now, the main reason why I don't think that I would get this, well, there are a couple main reasons. So the first reason why I don't really think that I would get this is I'm just not a huge follower of his. I used to be, but I don't know, I kind of like, I moved on from him, so I don't really, not that I like purposely don't support him, but I just don't really watch him. So there'd be no real reason for me to like want to get this. But the other thing is I feel like, you know, so half, well, more than half, I guess, of the palette are neutrals. So of course I don't need any of those shades. And then a lot of people have compared the colorful shades of his palette to Sugar Pill shadows, which of course, if you watch my channel, you know that I have them. I pretty recently got them and I love them. So some of those shades are really similar to the ones that I own from Sugar Pill, so there's just no real reason for me to get them in this palette. I think if you're looking for a palette that has some neutrals and some pops of color, this is a great one. It seems, at least if the quality is good, I think that the price is pretty good for what you get, and you'll get a lot of variety. This would be good for travel if you wanted to have something that had neutrals and colors and a nice brush. You know, the mirror could be better, but it's not bad. So I think this is a very good first release from him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes out with in the future, and I would definitely consider getting something in the future if it, you know, was something that I was interested in. The next one is a new release from Urban Decay, and this is a collection, I believe. The first thing that I saw, which I'm gonna post up here, is the eyeshadow palette, and it's called the Born to Run palette. I think they're coming out with lipsticks with it as well, but it has 21 shades and it's gonna come out in July. I like what they're trying to do here. I like that it has some more interesting shades and it's not just neutrals. It's a nice size. You know, $49 is expensive, but it's not terrible for what they charge for their palettes. They charge a lot for their palettes. But I've seen some swatches recently, and I haven't been that impressed with them. Their eyeshadows for me are kind of hit or miss. I still have their electric palette, which I love, and I think that that is very good quality. But I got rid of my my naked palettes because I just wasn't blown away by them anymore. I think they're good for, you know, people who don't have a ton of makeup and just kind of want neutrals and all of that. I think that they're fine, but I'm just not all that impressed with them anymore. I have found shadows that I like a lot more that are less expensive, and I can't really see myself getting this because I was definitely kind of intrigued when I first saw the picture of this palette, but then when I started seeing some swatches, I was like, not sure that this one is really something that excites me, so I'm gonna pass on that one. The next thing is a whole collection by Tarte. So it's the Trust and Fairy Dust collection. And I guess it's available. I don't know when this was announced. I don't know. I don't really know. But so let's see. There's a whole bunch of things. So there's an Eye and Cheek palette that's $39. A brush set that's $42 that has those little stars on the bottom. Mascara that's $23. Okay. Fairy Dust, which are glitters, I guess, are $9. Double Duty lipsticks, $18 in 6 shades. I don't know what double duty means, but okay. Then there's a magnetic palette that's $17. Blush, which is $29. A concealer brush, which is $24. Oh, it's like one of those, what are those called? The oval like type of brushes, Artiste brushes. It's kind of like one of those. And the Vault, which I guess is the whole collection, is $110. Okay. So first of all, like, enough, Tarte? Like, what? Like, really? Like, I thought that they understood that everyone was kind of over this whole, like, unicorn, mermaid, fairy, like, haven't we all said that we were over this? I mean, I guess people are buying it, so they're still just making it, but, like, I mean, these brushes just look so juvenile. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, they're cute, but like they look like something that you'd get at Claire's, like when you were like a kid. I don't really understand that. I mean, I'm definitely not getting this. I mean, the blush looks pretty. It doesn't look like anything unique though. I will say that the Double Duty lipsticks look a lot like those the Amazonian butter lipsticks that I have. I have one of those, and it's hard to get those now. I don't know where mine is, but anyway, I've talked about it before, but the Amazonian butter lipsticks are almost like, you know, tinted lip balms, and I really, really like that. And they only have them on their website now, so maybe this is the new version of them. So those are nice, I will say, if that's the same thing. Their magnetic palettes are really nice. This one's kind of a weird shape, but they're still nice. I don't plan on getting anything from this collection, and I just don't really understand what Tarte is doing. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing. But that actually brings me to the next one. So the next one is an eyeshadow palette that's being released. It's called the Atlantis palette, and it's by Face Candy, which is sold on that Shop Hush site, which I've never tried anything from, but they sell a lot of palettes that are sort of like dupes of higher priced palettes. I've heard mixed reviews on them. Some people love them. Some people think that they're not really worth it, even though they are very inexpensive. So this palette is $14, which is very inexpensive for what you're getting. It's gonna be available June 12th. So this video will probably go up after that, so it's now available probably. So again, I haven't tried anything from this brand. I don't necessarily think that I would. Maybe I'd wait to see on reviews because it's only $14, so that's not bad. But this is a very smart release. So this is very reminiscent of that palette that Tarte put out as an April Fool's joke, which was just not funny at all. If you haven't heard about that, you can Google it, you'll find it. But basically Tarte put out a palette that everyone was super excited about, and it was like, finally Tarte, you're putting out something different and colorful and exciting. And then they said it was an April Fool's joke. So I don't know. I don't know if they're kicking themselves, maybe they don't care, but I think that a lot of brands are really trying to, you know, play off of the excitement and then the disappointment from that whole like joke that they put out. And so this is really exciting. I kind of want to wait and see some reviews, some swatches, because I know that some of these palettes from Shop Hush have been sort of hit and miss. And while $14 isn't a lot, I don't need it if it's not good. I would definitely be interested to see what people think about it, because I think that that's really cool. And I think that, you know, I think brands are finally starting to like understand that people are tired of just the boring neutral palettes, and most of us have them already and don't want another one. So that brings me to the next release too. I'm doing these nice little segues, but so the next one is by Violet Voss. This is another eyeshadow palette, a lot of eyeshadow palettes. This one was posted and I'm excited about this. Violet Voss has not really excited me too much, and I haven't been that interested in their palettes. And there was one that was coming out, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it on the screen if I remember, but it was sort of, you know, purples and oranges and that kind of, you know, the tones that if you've watched my channel, you know that I love. I'm really into those types of colors. I love like the sunset colors, the purples and the oranges and the reds and the pinks, and I love those. I'm just a purple fan in general. So I was interested in that palette, but I had heard some negative-ish things about it, just as far as like there weren't a lot of mattes in there and it was a lot of shimmers, and so I don't know. And her palettes are expensive. I don't remember how much her palettes are, but they can be expensive. They are big, but they're still on the pricey side. So I just haven't really wanted to buy any of her palettes in the past. But then I saw this one and I'm impressed. I'm definitely just impressed with this release. So this is, what is it called? The Flamingo palette. Okay, because there are a few different pictures that I came up with, you know, and over the course of, you know, collecting some of these pictures, more things were released. So it's the Flamingo palette. It's going to be available mid-July, and it's, you know, a mixture of shimmery and matte colors, and it's a lot of really fun colors. I will say, just to be extra picky, I wish there were more mattes than what there are in here. Like I wish that there was a purple matte. Like that shimmery purple looks so pretty, but I wish that there was a matte in that tone or around that tone. But I still think that this is really smart. I think that it looks really, really nice, and I'm excited to hear what people think about it because I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. And then, you know, I saw some of the swatches. The swatches look really, really nice. I will say that they look really pretty. Again, I wish there were more mattes, but nevertheless, it still looks really pretty. And then I saw that they're gonna come out with a face palette as well. And I'm probably just gonna pass on this one. That's called the Glamingo. So it's the Flamingo palette and then the Glamingo face palette. It's cute, I guess. And that looks nice. And it's clearly trying to cater to multiple skin tones, which is great, but I'm probably not going to use all of these shades. So I don't really think that this is something that I would want to spend money on. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but nevertheless, I think I'm going to pass on that one. But I'm going to keep my eye on that eyeshadow palette because I'm definitely curious about that. Of course, I don't need another eyeshadow palette. I know you don't have to tell me that, but I'm still curious. I'm going to just see what people start to say about it, I think. All right, one more eyeshadow thing and then we will move on to something different, I promise. So Jaclyn Hill has started putting out some swatches of clearly some eyeshadow palettes coming out. And the first picture that I saw, I'll put it up on the screen, I was just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty, but yeah, whatever. But then she posted another picture. So I don't know if this is gonna be multiple palettes, whatever, okay. But this one, I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting to me because this one looks like almost like subculture type of colors, which I never got the subculture, but I love those colors. I've just kind of gone back and forth about that palette, you know, so many mixed reviews. But anyway, these colors look really, really nice. So I saw that when I was like, okay, I'm intrigued now. And the question was, is this going to be another Morphe palette? Is this going to be Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics finally? You know, is this going to be something else entirely? So finally, like literally today, I mean, probably 5 minutes before I was going to film this, she put up a little video on Instagram and it's round 2 with Morphe. And I have to admit, I was a little disappointed. I mean, look, I have the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe and I love it. It really is one of my favorite palettes. I didn't get it for a long time. A friend of mine talked me into it and I do really love it. I talked about it in my video about palettes that I could use for a month and not get bored. I'll link that one up above for you if you didn't see that one. That was actually a collab with Katie Marie. And so I really do love that palette. I do. It's fabulous. It's a great, great palette. But I'm a little disappointed. I really was hoping that it was gonna be her line or with somebody else. I'm kind of tired of her doing things with Morphe. I've gotta be honest. I mean, I really don't have anything against Morphe. I don't know. I guess I can't really explain it. I just was hoping it was with somebody else. But what I will say is, I like the fact that if you can see in the picture, there are multiple palettes. So that's why we saw so many different tones in those swatches. They're going to be smaller palettes and they're going to be different types of palettes. So, you know, some with greens, some with reds, purples, pinks, neutrals, yellows, all of that. So that I think is very cool and that is smart. The critique that I had and that a lot of other people had about her first palette with Morphe is that it's so big and there are a lot of, you know, colors that are very repetitive and it could have been condensed. And I know a lot of people do travel with that palette. I just really wouldn't because it's so big and there's no mirror in it. So I think these look really smart. First of all, they have mirrors, which I think is great. But also they're just different types of tones. So I can choose maybe one of them or two of them. I don't know how much they're gonna cost. So, you know, I'll see if I'm more interested or less interested based on the price. They're going to be available June 26th on their website. I will be interested to see if they're available at Ulta because honestly, I'm not going to order from the Morphe website. I know you can get a discount that way. I'd rather wait for a discount at Ulta and I just prefer to buy from Ulta. So if they're not available at Ulta, I probably am just not going to get it. If they are, and if the price is right, and if, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the quality is gonna be great because that palette, you know, that I have from her the first time is great. So a little disappointed, but I can get over it. And then the last thing is something that I really do plan on trying actually. So this is a new foundation from ColourPop. This is really exciting, I think. So it's coming in 42 shades, which I think is fantastic. It's only $12, so you know, that's another thing. I mean, I can certainly try something for $12. It says that it's a lightweight formula, a medium to full coverage matte finish, but I think it said somewhere else that it was a natural matte finish. So I'm definitely willing to try that. I may not love it, you know, it's hard to know, but I think that could be really, really good. They're also coming out with some powders, so some pressed powders that are $9, and then I believe the loose powders are $9 as well. Those come out in 3 different shades. The pressed powders come in 6 different shades. I think that that's awesome and really smart of them. And then they're also coming out with some brushes, 2 different foundation brushes. I'm gonna pass on those. So one of the foundation brushes is $9 and one is $8. I just don't use those type of foundation brushes, so there's no real reason why I would get that, but I definitely want to try the foundation and maybe a powder, probably a pressed powder I'd be curious about trying, but I think this is really exciting. I still haven't tried their concealer, so maybe I'd try both at the same time just to kind of give them both a try. But I think this is really exciting. I wish that all of their stuff would be carried at Ulta. I don't mind ordering from their website. Obviously, it'd be nice to be able to see something in person because then I could be sure to get my actual shade. That's the only challenge, of course, is that, you know, it'll be hard to find my exact shade on a website, and you can't return things through them. So that's kind of a pain. But it is only $12, so if I had to kind of play with, you know, the shade a little bit, that's probably okay. I do think this is really exciting. I do hope that at some point their entire line, or at least the majority of their line, will be carried at Ulta, because I think that would be awesome. But nevertheless, I think this is very exciting. It says later this month, so June maybe? I don't know. I mean, we're in June now, but when was this posted? I don't even know. So I think probably June it will be available, something like that. It's coming out soon. If I find out the date before I post this, then I will put it on the screen. But anyway, definitely excited about that foundation. All right, everyone, so that is it for this edition of Beauty Wishlist. Definitely let me know in the comments below what you plan on picking up. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would so love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.